Let's get into some shite. Hello, folks. Welcome to Apocalyptic. That was my actual voice. I'm feeling a little bit, as kind of happens, I'm feeling a little allergy infested today. I was doing some work in my attic, trying to get some things organized. And it's like right now I'm dripping, soaking wet. You don't want a photo of this. But I was in there doing some work and like that kind of affects your voice and everything. I probably shouldn't immediately do a podcast, but here I am doing it. Getting some, trying to get, again, just, it's an ongoing thing, trying to get my house organized. Sometimes I just feel like I'm pushing piles from one room to the other. Do you feel that way when you're doing some work? You're just moving things. You're not actually accomplishing anything. You're just moving from one area to the other. That's the way I feel about my life. Sometimes I'm not organizing my life at all. I'm just moving things around. And so I feel like I might be fixing something here that needs to be fixed in my life. Really, I'm not. I'm just I'm moving over to a different thing. And so I remember there are actually times in my life when I wanted there to be a major event just to kind of distract me from what was going on. It's just like I can't keep moving these things around. I need a whole new thing to focus on. And that would work for a while. So maybe you can relate. Just doing something to feel like you're doing something. Is that something we should be doing? Well, I do feel like I need to get everything in my life organized. But I have realized that it's an ongoing thing. I'm not going to do it in a month. I'm not going to do it in 2 months. I don't even know if I'll have it finished this year. And that's okay. I've accepted that. I realize it's just going to be an ongoing thing. I should have done it a long time ago. I didn't, but it's okay. So the way I'm handling it now is I'm looking for several different outlets to get rid of stuff. So number one outlet, which is the easiest outlet, is just garbage. Just throw it away. Not going to use this anymore. Gone. If it has any value at all, potential value, then I donate it. It goes to Goodwill, goes to a thrift store, goes whoever might need it. It's just like free. Here, take it. The other thing, a little more value, maybe if we did a yard sale this month, maybe I'll do another one someday. I don't know. Right now, anything that has a little bit of value to it, it's like eBay. Gonna try eBay, see if I can get a little money out of it. And that's my outlets right now. That's what I'm doing. Trying to, and hopefully I'll be able to get rid of crap. Good crap, you want to, somebody might have a use for it. I hate throwing things away. I'm not good at that. I just feel like recycle, give it to people who might use it, sell it to people who might use it, make a little bit of money. Ultimately, that's my goal. And then if I have to toss it, if it's just broke or whatever, it's gone, just out of there. So I've thrown away a lot of stuff, papers. I'm a receipt keeper. I've kept literally, I think I have about 20 years of receipts in bags in my closet. And I toted those around before I even married my wife. And she's been telling me to throw them away. And I was like, I can't. I own a business. I need to keep all this stuff. And so we hired an accountant to do work for us. And so all of that stuff is kind of now on the record, but I can't bring myself to throw away these receipts. I'm like, what if I need them? What if I get audited? What if there's something and they say I got to have it and I don't have it and then I get thrown into prison? So I've been hanging on to this stuff, but I finally brought myself to throw receipts away. So bags and bags and bags of receipts. And so far, almost without fail, every single time I throw something away, let's say 2 days later, I need it. Every time. I've had it for years, not even touched it. And then I throw it away and immediately I need it. So it's that, I don't know, what do you call it? Negative reinforcement, really. That's like, Shouldn't have done it. It's going to keep me from throwing things away. And I'm not a good throw things awayer. But I don't know. How about you? What about, do you do it? I know people who have like this minimalist kind of house where they have nothing. I just don't know how people do that. How do you live? How do you not have anything in your life? I mean, I'm an artist, so I need tools, I need things, I need paints, I need brushes, I need pens, I need all kinds of stuff to do my work. And then, podcasting, I have all of the podcasting stuff. I do a lot of things, so I have a lot of stuff. But I do know that I kept a lot of stuff that I don't need to keep. And every day I try to tell myself, if I haven't used it, just throw it away. And I find myself going through piles of stuff and going, where should I put this? I need a box. I need to put it. And then I go, wait, hold on. That's our new rule, throw away. So I'll go back and start looking at everything with a whole different understanding. And it's like, I've got to throw it away. So I have some electronic stuff. I think that's going to go onto eBay. I just found out some of the stuff that I have. I don't know if I want to say. Maybe I do. I'll go ahead and say it. I haven't decided if I'm selling it. That's why I didn't want to say it for sure. But, I have a couple of old style iPods, that has the little dial, the wheel, and whatever it was at the time, the maximum, I think one's a 160 gigabyte. I could put everything I own on it at the time. And I love those. But I have two of those, and they're in almost mint condition. And I don't use them. I rarely use them. I still have stuff on it. I use my phone. I just don't do it anymore. And so I started thinking, well, if I'm not using it, why don't I get rid of it? And I was looking on eBay, and they're like $250 a piece. That's $500 right there I could get rid of. So, you just have to start looking at things differently. And that's what I'm trying to do. Trying to teach myself to stop hanging on to things. Not good at it. I'm a hanger-oner. I've actually had pieces of paper, like a label that was wrapped around something, and that thing probably had some value at some point, and then maybe I don't know what happened to it, but I still have the label, I still have the packaging, and I've kept that packaging for 20 years. And then because I've had it for 20 years, I'm like, well, I can't throw it away now. I've had it for 20 years. It's an antique. It has value. That's my mentality. And then I just hang on to everything. So I'm trying to retrain myself. I don't know if it's going to work. I think it's working. The other thing that really works in my favorite age, as you start getting older, you start thinking, like, I had this conversation with my wife the other night. I was like, if I don't do this, you're going to be doing it when I'm gone in just a few years. Hopefully a long few years. But, we're all getting closer. We're all closer to our death right now than we were yesterday. Every one of us. So I don't know how much longer I got. I like to think I'm going to be an old guy. If I do, maybe 30 years, 20, 30. That just doesn't seem long. But I like to think that's old age. I mean, you're lucky if you get to live to be old age. What if it's something else? What if it's some kind of a disease or an accident or something? That could be tomorrow. And then someone has to go through all these boxes of crap. So might as well be me. So I'm doing it. Going through, doing it. One thing that you could do is call on our listener line. We have a listener phone number that we've established for you as the apocalyptic listener, and that is your role. That's what you're doing right now. You're listening to Apocalyptic. And this line is for you, 678-348-0008, was made for you to call in and just say anything that you want to say. And if you say it and just put it on, I'll put it on the podcast so other people can hear it. It's a way for you to express your opinion on the podcast. It's almost like being a guest on the podcast, and yet you're not. By the way, if you want to be a guest on the podcast, you think you'd be a good guest, you have something to talk about, you have a good point of view, you're an interesting person, you just murdered someone. I don't know what you've done. But if you have something that would make yourself, not just if you would think you'd be an interesting guest, just contact me. You can call me on that listener line, 678-348-0008, or better, send me an email Rick at apocalyptic.com and tell me that you'd be a good guest. We'll try to work something out. I'm also on Facebook. You can find me on Facebook. We have a apocalyptic page there, and you can just hang out. I try to post all the episodes and when I can, other fun things there. And I'm on Threads. That's not a sewing thing. It's an actual, it's like Twitter, but it's nicer. Right now it is nicer. So I'm there, Apocalyptic Podcast. We're there, and you can just follow and all of that kind of good, fun stuff. What else? Oh, by the way, I do have a like if you just want to follow me on Facebook, I believe I'm on there. I think it's my URL is It's Me, Rick Baldwin. That's me. It's me, Rick Baldwin. And that's on Facebook. You can look me up on Facebook, and there I'll be. So lots of ways to follow. And then if you just don't even want to follow, if you just want to check in, go to apocalyptic.com. That's the website, and that's what will be. So that's all of the ways you can get in touch with us, me. Say hi. Let me know you're listening. I don't know. No one reports to me if you're listening. I have no way of knowing unless you tell me. Ice water today because I'm hot. Summer day, and I was in my attic. I'm just sweating like crazy. It's a good way to lose weight. Have you thought, this is what I was thinking about the other day. I was sitting down. I got up early. Occasionally I'll get up like 3 or 4 in the morning, do some meditation, do some writing. Just, I don't know. Sometimes I'm just laying in the bed and I'm like, coffee. I could have coffee right now. And then I got to get out of bed and go have coffee. It's just like the draw of coffee is so strong. I got to get out of bed and have it. So sometimes 3:30, 4 in the morning, I'll do that. And I did that yesterday, day before. And I was sitting in my chair. My cat likes to come up and just, she likes to lay right beside me on my left side down while I'm sitting down. She just she gets a little space, I don't know, about 6 inches. She just like kind of really squeezes herself in there and then she falls asleep. And I was sitting there being quiet. She was there. I don't know, I'd been there 30 minutes or so, and she was just fast asleep. And I reached my hand down and I just put it on her head. Just completely covered her skull with my hand, and she didn't move. I think she made a little sound and then just kept sleeping. And I started thinking about it. I just think, can you imagine the trust in there? Now, we have a totally different existence, a whole different life than a cat. Our point of view is totally different, but you think about it, a cat, I don't know, this cat's probably a sixth of my body, maybe 6 of the cats would be me, at least. Can you imagine if a giant 6 times your size just reached down and put their hand on your head? You would freak out. You would just totally lose it. This cat just didn't even hardly blink. She's just totally fine with it. The amount of trust in a life like that, where a giant can just do things to you. And sometimes they, depending on the cat, the dog, whatever, and who they get in situations that aren't cool at all, people who harm them or whatever, and the trust is betrayed. That would never happen in my house. But even then, they don't always trust me. I've never done anything to betray anybody's trust in my house. But just to me, it just kind of, just to see how it is with me putting my hand around the cat's head, where I could crush the skull so easily. And the cat was just totally fine with it. It's an incredible gift that they're giving to you, that trust. This is the kids the same way with the grown-ups. And again, I know a lot of times that trust is betrayed. I'm sorry if you came from a situation where it was betrayed. But as kids, that's what we do. We don't know things. We just have to trust the grown-ups know. They're going to tell us. They dress us. They put our clothes on. We just stand there and let them do it. We don't. What do we get? I don't know. I've never done this before. We let them. We let them take us places, vacation, school. We just get in the car. Okay, let's go. Turning over that trust, and then at some point, and I don't know what it was, somewhere in my life, I was just like, no more. Not giving trust to any of the adults anymore. I have trust issues. I don't know why. I don't know that I've had a lot of events in my life that have broken my trust. I've had a few, nothing major though. I've been in relationships where I'm pretty sure there was some betrayal in there, but I don't have any proof, and I don't have anything really where I would just say was just traumatizing. So, and no events in my life. So again, some things that I could look at now and just go, that wasn't cool. But nothing, no big traumatizing event which betrayed my trust. Why don't I trust people? Why do I have trust issues? I pretty much trust my wife. There's always that thing in the back of my head, like she comes home late at work. She works at a hospital, a lot of doctors. I'm like, what? Okay, what if you're playing doctor? How do I know? How do I know what's going on? I don't. And she's the same way with me. She's like, you're home all day. I don't know what you're doing. So you just have to trust that trust is a gift. You just have to kind of give it to people. Some people are not trustworthy. I know people who, no matter how much trust you give them, they're going to betray you. And after a while, you're just like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. It's probably best just not even to be in a relationship with that person, or be in a very casual relationship where you don't ever have to be on a level where you need to trust a person like that. But some people, they're not good in relationships because they don't have the capacity to demonstrate trust or to hold trust, or they're just not trustworthy. I like to think I am. I think I am. I don't believe I've betrayed people's trust. I don't think. Cooling myself down. Well, it's been a weird, who was it that said, I can't remember. I don't know. It's not it's just a saying. May you live in interesting times. You've heard that. It's like this little thing. So, and it's definitely an interesting time. We definitely live in this interesting time. Things that are going on that are crazy, weird, strange. This week, I don't know, like for the past month, but certainly the past week or two, lots of deaths, people dying. And that's going to, I think that, obviously everybody's died. Well, not everybody, but people have died since the beginning of time, dying. But celebrities, when we were kids, like our parents, grandparents, heroes, music, film, whatever, when they die, we're just like, oh, some old person died. I don't know who that is. Some crooner, or a jazz person. I don't know. Dancer, big band leader. I don't know who that is. Some politician I never heard of. Who? Barry Goldwater? No, I don't know who that is. He died today. Did you hear that? I don't know. Whatever. But then as we get older, and two, just the culture. We live in a culture where there's so many more famous people. There are people who are like what they call YouTube famous. I've never heard of them. These kids in their 20s, multimillionaires, and they'll say the name. I'm like, who? I've never heard of that person. But yet they go do an appearance at a mall and they pack out the mall. You can't walk anywhere inside. I've seen the pictures. I've seen the videos. And the kids know who they are. But we're manufacturing celebrities. We have a culture where almost anybody can be a celebrity. You can be an independent music artist. You can release your stuff on Bandcamp, Spotify, Apple Music on your own. You don't even have to have a record company. And then you develop an audience. People come to your shows and you could be a celebrity. I watch a lot of ASMR videos, and these are just people just sat in their house one day and said, I'm going to start whispering on camera. And now like 2 million people follow them. Some of them make millions of dollars doing that. They're celebrities in a way, just from whispering on a video camera, not a tape. No one tapes anymore. What am I talking about? I can never be famous. But yeah, like podcasts, there are people who came, not me. No one listens to my podcast, but there are people who became famous from podcasting. I would love to be that person. I'm not famous. when I did the Year in a Kilt, there were like 20,000 people followed me online. And I can remember going to Baltimore, right outside of Baltimore, to the Maryland Renaissance Festival. And someone recognized me. It was like I had been doing it for just, I don't know, 4 or 5 months. He's like, "You're the Year in a Kilt guy." And I'm like, yeah. So I was it was a weird thing. I was like a celebrity there. But so many things that we're doing, we're manufacturing celebrities. So more and more people, as people die, we hear about it and we just think, it just seems like, wow, everybody's dropping dead. All these celebrities are dropping dead. But it's really, it's just kind of, it's more of an illusion, I think, than anything else. It's just being the fact that there's more celebrities. So this past week, well, not the past week, past couple weeks, Tony Bennett, singer, jazz singer, crooner, whatever you want to call him. I love Tony Bennett. Tony Bennett, Lady Gaga albums are really good, if you like contemporary Tony Bennett. But classic stuff, Tony, gone. I think I knew, he's in his 80s, close to 90. I knew he was going to be dead at some point soon. But yeah, when he's gone, it's like, oh no, not Tony. I wanted Tony to stay around a while. Guy from the Eagles, Randy Meisner. I'm not an Eagles fan. I did like Randy Meisner's voice. Maybe my favorite voice out of all the Eagles. I'm not a big Eagles fan. I just, I don't know. There's some songs I really like, but he was seemed kind of like he might be an interesting dude. Sinead O'Connor. Here's the weird thing about I'm very aware of Sinead O'Connor. Knew all of the stuff. I was in the 80s, very much into music back when she was just kind of starting out. But I never listened to her much. I knew who she was. I knew she was the culture. I knew what her pop significance, her culture significance. I saw her on Saturday Night Live rip up the picture of the Pope. That didn't offend me. I didn't get mad. I just thought, a publicity stunt in order to get attention. That's what I thought. I didn't realize what she was doing. I didn't really care. She wasn't really an artist that I just didn't pay a lot of attention to her. But I just felt like she needed attention and was doing it for attention. And then now I understand the significance of what she was doing. But this past week when she died, I just realized, you know what? I know totally who she is. I've heard her hits so many times, but I've never listened to one of her albums, like start to finish, all the way through. Never did. So I should. And I put on, now I can't remember the name of the album. The Nothing Compares to You is on it. I know the title, but I forgot it. Anyway, I listened to that one and I was really, well, first of all, it was really good. Very good, obviously. Stupid to say, but quite good. But I was very surprised at how much it reminded me of Catholic church music. It's very, I don't know, like kind of choral sounding, very ethereal. Is that the word? A couple times it sounded a little bit like Enya. You ever listen to Enya? I liked Enya, but very Irish, kind of mysterious, just very religious, spiritual. And my wife said it was dark. My wife's a big Sinead O'Connor fan. She called her dark, but I didn't find the music dark. Maybe the lyrics were. I just found it was kind of spiritual. You wanted to listen to it, but she had a very, very, I don't know, flighty voice. A voice that just sounded like it was just floating in the clouds to me. And she was definitely singing about dark stuff, heavy stuff. Watched a couple of interviews with her. She said some of the more recent interviews I saw, she seemed very grounded. Seemed like she was enjoying life. Had a loss of her son. I don't know. I haven't heard why she died. Don't know if that had anything to do with it. But yeah, it's kind of sad. She, a true artist. She did more stuff than I thought. I listened to some. She did a duet with Willie Nelson. The song Peter Gabriel and Kate Bush do "Don't Give Up." It's on Peter Gabriel's Soul album. Sinead O'Connor and Willie Nelson did that duet together. Look it up on YouTube and listen to it. That song as a country music song is very interesting. I like what they did, but I didn't know it existed. Kind of nice digging in and finding out some stuff about somebody I didn't know. And Pee Wee Herman, who saw that coming? That's Mr. Rogers of this generation, the current generation, even generations before. Pee Wee's been around since I was in college, and I think he was Mr. Rogers when Mr. Rogers was gone. We didn't have a Captain Kangaroo or Mr. Rogers. Pee Wee, a little bit skewed, a little different, not all that innocent. And I think that's what makes him Mr. Rogers for this generation, is because, we don't need, I don't know if this generation wants a lot of innocence. They want a little impishness, and that was Pee Wee. I bought from, I think it was from a thrift store a couple years ago, the entire Pee Wee's Playhouse on DVD. And I haven't watched them, haven't gotten around to watch them. And so I almost sold them. I was like, maybe I should get rid of these since I'm not watching it. Somebody might want to watch them. And now that Pee Wee's dead, I'm going to hang on to him for a little while longer. So, world without Pee Wee. Are you ready for a world without Pee Wee? No. When I was in college, I can remember doing a play. I was a theater major, was doing a play, and this group of girls, women, girls, young ladies. What's the term? Young female Baptists. I can remember them. They were like, we're all getting together at my room to watch Pee Wee's special on HBO. And I was like, who's Pee Wee? What are you talking about? And they were obsessed. It's all they talked about was Pee Wee. It was like the biggest thing. And I just thought it was so ridiculous. It's like, what? This dude acting like a little kid with a bow tie? I didn't get it. It was a long time before I kind of got it and understood. It takes me a while. I'm usually one of the last people. But yeah, they're gone now. I think, death, especially when it's like a celebrity, we feel so lost in a way. And I feel like death sometimes feels like a betrayal. These people, like celebrities, it's an unspoken rule or an unspoken law, but it's almost like they're telling us, I'm going to let you know everything's okay. I'll always be here for you to watch. When things in your life get too much, just turn on the tube and watch me. Listen to a little Tony Bennett. Watch a little Pee Wee. Listen to a little Sinead O'Connor. We'll always be here for you. Well, you know that. We've always been here for you. And then they're gone, and you realize, holy crap, I could be next. I think it really just kind of shifts your foundation, and you realize that the world that you are holding on to has no existence, really, as a stability. And I feel like that we're seeing that happen in other ways, just besides celebrities dying. If you look in politics, I just feel like we're right on the brink of losing democracy. What our country was founded on, and it's not coming from one politician. It's coming from so many, and a lot of people even want to break it down. They just want to change everything. They want power, and they're willing to rip apart so many of our laws, our Constitution, our establishments in order to make it happen. And we're watching things happen that we've never seen before. I think things that some people might have hinted at, now it's actually happening. And people are used to, sometimes it happened behind the scenes, and now it's happening in public. And watching even like the whole thing with Trump being indicted. No, that's never happened with a president before. But now it's just like you watch the news. It's like, what's going on? What's happening? Maybe I need to go to Twitter and find out of what's going on. And then you go to Twitter and it's X. It's not even Twitter anymore. Some rich guy bought it, stripped it apart, made it something. Well, I thought Twitter would always be there. No, it's not going to be. The world is all fragile. It's all anything can be taken apart and changed. Even the things you thought would be here forever, even your government, even the land you're standing on. You do not know that your state, your country won't be owned by China one day or Korea. We don't know. Mexico, Canada. How do we know? You could say right now, it never happened, laugh about it, whatever. Who thought any of this stuff would happen? And I think it's just when we start seeing this change, that's when you really have to come to the realization that nothing is secure. You're on your own and you're going to die. That's the truth. It's scary. I'm sorry. I'm the one to bring you that news for you. But it's true. It's your friends. You're going to see your friends die. You're going to see your family die. I'm sorry. I don't like it. I didn't build it that way. You're going to see your houses disappear. You're going to see your work fire you. You're going to see your town change. They're going to build a Starbucks in the park that you loved playing in. Your sports team is going to change their name. They're going to move to Las Vegas. It's not going to be the same. Nothing. You cannot hang on to anything. Just like all the crap in your attic. You got to get rid of it. Put it on eBay. Sell it. Throw it in the garbage. It's a waste. But you know where the value is, right? You. But you're going to change too. So don't hang on too tight.